Is Keir Starmer still barred from your pub?
Oh God, yes. Yeah, I hate very few people in life, but I do hate that man. He's awful. No, he's definitely banned.
I hate Keir Starmer. I hate Keir Starmer for what he is doing to our country. I hate Keir Starmer for the fact that I no longer feel like I have free speech in a country that created the very concept. And I hate Keir Starmer because of the fact that he lies. Now, is it okay to hate the Prime Minister? A Prime Minister who is destroying our lives on a daily basis. I ask because this has become a major debate, especially in polite society, after Jeremy Clarkson went on Times Radio and confirmed that Slippery Starmer would remain banned from his pub and then used the H word. Watch this.
Talked a lot there, Jeremy, about the fact that the government doesn't really seem to get it in your view. I just wonder, is Keir Starmer still barred from your pub?
Oh God, yes. Yeah, I hate very few people in life, but I do hate that man. He's awful. No, he's definitely banned. He's just so flippant about farmers. Whenever you ask him, it's just like, well, who cares about them? And that's one of the things I really dislike. And then I watched him with Trump, trying to argue, well, we haven't really taxed them. Well, you have.
Now, I found that whole exchange fascinating because what was more interesting to me in a way than what Jeremy Clarkson was saying was watching the response on the face of the Times radio presenter, not Peter Cardwell, who asked the question, but they went to a woman in glasses. I have no idea who she is, but I know she's a presenter on Times Radio, which means she signs up to the elite class view of the world. And she was okay with Clarkson saying that Starmer was banned from his pub. But the moment he said, I really hate that man, her entire body tensed up and she raised her eyebrows and she couldn't handle having that type of honest conversation about a guy who I believe deserves to be hated. So I want to be very, very clear on my own position on this. I hate Keir Starmer. I hate Keir Starmer for what he is doing to our country. I hate Keir Starmer for the fact that I no longer feel like I have free speech in a country that created the very concept. And I hate Keir Starmer because of the fact that he lies. And I think actually that's one of the things that is most damaging about his reign. If you're going to do this stuff, go and own it. Own the fact that you're a communist. Own the fact that you don't believe that people have a right to free speech. Own the fact that you don't believe in independent journalism. But this is a man who travels around the world and lies. We shouldn't be surprised, by the way, given he lies about his own marriage. He lies about the shape of his own family. And again, that's something that I have spent the past year desperately talking about because I think it matters. I think the character of this man, or shall I say, the lack of character when it comes to this man matters. So yes, I'm going to be honest. I do hate Keir Starmer. Some people might think that's not good for the public discourse. But I think actually what he is doing is destroying public discourse altogether. So I don't feel like I should have to hold back in terms of my true feelings about him. But I want to debate this now with my superstar panel, Dave Atherton and Father Calvin Robinson. Father Calvin, is it okay to hate a Prime Minister like Keir Starmer and actually admit it in the way that Jeremy Clarkson did during that Times Radio interview? Can you believe that more than half of you are watching this video but not subscribed? So please do me a huge favor, click the subscribe button now, turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to all of our brand new Outspoken videos.
Personally, I also noticed the same thing that you noticed, that the eyebrows and the hunching over, the reaction straight away, massive tells. I would say it's okay to people would instantly think, what do you mean Christians say you can't hate? No, it is okay to hate, but I would say it's not okay to hate people. And I think you're more on the same line as me with this, Dan, because you were saying, I hate what he's done to our country. I hate that he lies. We hate the things that he does. But if you'll indulge me, I'll read a very, very short part of the scriptures from the Holy Bible that says, there are six things which the Lord hates. 7 which are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. And it goes on. But the Lord hates lies. I hate lies. You hate lies. One of the reasons so many people hate Sir Keir Starmer is because he lies so often. And you're absolutely right. We should hate the action. We should hate the act rather than the person, and hope that he repents. Therefore, hope that he stops doing it and starts being honest and transparent with us.
Yeah, and I was really interested in your point of view on that, Father Calvin, coming from a religious perspective. Dave, what about you as a man on the street? Do you hate him?
Right. Well, I'm a little bit more moderate, but I'll end up being extreme in the end. I don't hate Keir Starmer. I loathe him with every single fibre of my body. I hate the things that he's done to this country, and I also would like to accuse Keir Starmer of having psychopathic tendencies. He knows full. He's the man who can stand up, not answer the question, and also tell blatant and utter lies. His manifesto was a tissue of lies, and it looks like in the autumn, Rachel from accounts will be putting up our taxes to mend the chronic black hole in the budget. This man is probably the worst prime minister that we've ever had, and how he still is polling 20%. His Labour Party is still polling 20%, 23% in the polls, is completely beyond me. We must have a significant number of morons in this country. So I suppose as well, Calvin as well. Yeah, indeed. I suppose there should be Christian forgiveness to a certain extent, but it's going to take me a long while for me to forgive him. And I think I've got a funny feeling on certain issues, maybe immigration and also the public finances. I think 2028 is going to be too far in the future. I think this country will be in serious trouble, and you can literally put it down to him. And then my loathing may turn to hate. And very quickly, when you look at the behaviour of the migrants in this country, particularly when it comes to sexual assaults, I hate that as well. And he is partly responsible for that too.
Yeah, I'm not sure either Dave or I have the wrong numbers, but I saw the Prime Minister polling at -44, which is outstanding, which would mean he's on the way out and he needs to look at a replacement pretty soon. But I may be wrong on that.
Yeah, sorry, Cal, but that's right. I'm just saying that 20% of the electorate would vote Labour. Vote for the Labour Party today. Sorry.
But without going on a tangent, Dan, another thing that I know you hate. This is the first time I've been in America for a year now. This is the first time I've seen this. I blooming hate this. the lids that are attached to the bottles.
That better not be coming to America. The EU bottle tops that don't. Oh yeah, I really do hate that. I have huge hatred for that. But first, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now, one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. They hardly make a dent on your appearance. Some can even be harmful to your skin, he said. Now, recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices so he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. He describes it as being almost like Photoshop for your face and says you may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view. His personal clients have dubbed his new do-it-yourself technique the Age Rewinder method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. So in light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public. It is free, it is uninterrupted, and he will outline exactly how to use this simple solution from home. And he said if it helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, he will actually be thrilled knowing that he helped. The video's gone viral as you'd expect, started on Facebook, over 2.3 million views now. The comments and feedback have been outstanding too. Thousands of women report they look decades younger. One commented that it was the best result of anything they've used. They said, I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you. So you can find out more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/outspoken, or if it's easier for you, you can just click on the link in the description box below this video. That's bhmd1.com/outspoken. There is one thing Dr. Lake asks from his viewers, though. He says, if watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. So go watch the video at bhmd1.com/outspoken right now, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show. Look, I guess where I'm coming from, though, interestingly, is that I have a lot less hate for people who I might disagree with more, but who are honest about where they come from and what they really feel. So I'll use two politicians, one of whom I think is going to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, unelected, of course, Angela Rayner. And I'd also put Jeremy Corbyn in that category too, Dave, because I completely disagree with all of their policies. I think they're extremists. I think they will destroy the country. But the difference between those conviction politicians and Slippery Starmer, who is a puppet, who is a globalist puppet who is controlled, is that at least they admit what they really feel and really think. And at least I can have a grudging respect for that. When Keir Starmer literally can sit in front of the world's media and Donald Trump and say, no, there's no censorship of social media in this country. Don't worry, nothing's happening to your Truth Social. When my damn digest has been censored on X the day prior because I dared to speak about the migrant protests at hotels up and down the country, then I do have hatred towards that. So do you see what I'm saying? I don't hate Angela Rayner. I don't hate Jeremy Corbyn in the same way that I hate Starmer, because I think at least they are honest brokers about what they truly believe. I don't think Starmer has an honest bone in his body.
Yeah, sure. Baroness Thatcher was a conviction politician, wasn't she? So God bless her, and if only she was in charge of this country today. Call me remarkably generous, Dan. But actually, I've got a lot of grudging respect for Angela Rayner. The sort of bitchy comment is that she left school with more children than she did qualifications. And she's literally pulled herself up by her bootstraps to get to become deputy prime minister. So she really does genuinely have my respect for doing that. I don't think her credo and her political views are any use to this country. She just seems to be all mouth and rhetoric. When she sort of was banging on apparently a couple of sheets to the window about scum Tories and things like that. And you see her in
but at least they're both honest, because look, what I would put to you, Dave, is that the regime that Slippery Starmer and Rachel from Accounts have introduced is actually as hard left, as socialist, as communist, as extreme, as financially debilitating as anything that Corbyn or Rayner put forward. But it's just that he lied. He just lied to us all. Yeah. I mean, I always knew, by the way, I remember going on my GB News show virtually every night and saying, this idea that Starmer is a moderate, you're crazy. He's an extremist, but he's a controlled extremist, so he's going to not be honest with you about what he really thinks. But that's what I feel so angry about, the fact that he was elected on completely false pretenses. If he had been honest about what he was going to do to this country, I think he would have won, but he wouldn't have won in the landslide that gives him the power that he currently has.
I've always felt that if Jeremy Corbyn had won the 2019 election, the Starmer government of this time is a cut and paste of what it would have been if Jeremy Corbyn had become Prime Minister in 2019. I think it was Peter Hitchens who dissected his background. Keir Starmer is an unapologetic Trotskyist or Marxist. He really is an extreme left person. And his crackdown on free speech in this country, it really is, resembles the Stasi, really resembles the Gestapo, and the way both those organisations literally kick the so-and-so out of free speech and free assembly and your ability to express your opinion. I really don't know why Starmer can't sit down, take a deep intake of breath, and work out why he's so unpopular, and how he could improve his ratings and his party's chances of the next election.
I honestly think it's too late.
I think he's that bigoted. Dan, I think he's that bigoted.
It works though. The lying works. So when I speak to certain people who aren't far left, who aren't commies, and they go, "Oh, isn't it marvelous that the Prime Minister managed to settle those far right riots in Southport? Isn't it wonderful? He's doing a great job." And you're like, "No, it's not wonderful. That they were, first of all, they weren't for far right riots. They were protests because young girls were being killed. Secondly, he's not handling it well at all. He's lying. He's censoring. He's a massive commie. But because he doesn't tell the truth, he gets people that aren't naturally on his side. It works in his favor. And he's not the first to do this. He learned this from Tony Blair and David Cameron. They're all of the same ilk.
Yeah,
Dave pointed out
Blair was a clever enough politician, though, to be re-elected twice. And Starmer will never be elected again. He will never, ever be elected again. Fascinating debate. Thank you for having it, my superstar panel, Father Calvin Robinson and Dave Atherton. We'll reveal today's greatest Britain and Union jackass in just one moment. But first, let me get to your comments. Thank you, Claudia Vivarelli, for the super chat. This is a really interesting one. She says, as you know, here in Italy, we have the mafia. Even so, I think I prefer Italy than living under Starmer's regime in the UK. It's saner. Wow. Doesn't that say something? Brilliant super chat. Thank you so much, Claudia. David J. Briscoe, on the Tommy Robinson issue. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, David. Writes, Mike Ainsbury, the Labour MP, did not get this amount of attention for punching a non-aggressive guy who had his hands in his pockets. Very, very good point, because obviously comparing it to Tommy Robinson. Gary Ford on this says, I responded to Piers Morgan. I asked him, what is the point in a second interview with Tommy? We know Piers hates Tommy, indeed. Tony Williams says, Piers ran off crying of Good Morning Britain after a row with the weatherman. And JJ, on a similar note, says, old Piers whining about a bottle job. He would know all about those scenes as he flounced off an ITV studio because he couldn't handle a cue card reader who gave weather updates. And thank you, by the way, to Mary Terry, Kristen Lewis, and Megan Taylor, who have all become Outspoken Plus members over the course of the show. I am so grateful for that. Okay, time to reveal today's greatest Britain and Union jackass. A reminder of your Union jackass nominees. Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, put forward by Claire Whelan after admitting only 50 out of 1,300 migrants would be sent back to France. Ed Miliband, the Environment Secretary, nominated by Thomas W3033, who says we sit on decades of our own energy in the North Sea, but our leaders would rather ban new licenses here and send £40 billion of our money to Norway. And Rachel Reeves, nominated by It's Only Me, the Chancellor for turning the so-called £22 billion black hole into a £52 billion one. Okay, so 3 Labour bigwigs. Who have you gone for? In third place, Ed Miliband with 18% of the vote. The runner-up with 39% of the vote, Rachel Reeves. But today's Union jackass with 44% of your vote, the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper. And today's Greatest Britain, nominated by Andrew W. Hall, 90, is Susan Hall, the leader of the Tory party in London, also a member of Restore Britain, for calling out Sadiq Khan time and again and holding him to account for the public. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.